Hey, 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 my tribe. This is Queen Amina Black Love coming at you with a review for season 3, episode number 10 of Ready to Love. There's a lot to unpack, so we're just going to get right into it. This week's episode started off with a little date by the fireside with Jay and Joy. And she's expressing how she doesn't even know why. She can't explain why she's still so charmed by him, and she still gets butterflies when she, sits with him and talks with him. And it was a cute, little date by the fireside. Started out really cute, and then all of a sudden there was a turn. There was a call for Jay to go to Joy's room, where he received the information that her younger sister had passed. So he, had a talk with Tommy about it. And, of course, Tommy called the whole group together to sit and get the information, this sad news about the tragedy of Joy's younger sister's death. Not a whole lot of information given on it. Apparently, Joy had talked to her sister a few hours before and then found out that she had passed. So it was unexpected and, of course, very tragic. So Tommy sort of gave them the day to deal with, the news of this loss. And we saw a whole lot of camaraderie, each of them meeting up, at different scenes in the show, to sort of talk about it and to sort of help each other through it. Because it was like the loss of a family member, of course, them getting to know Joy and the sister being related to Joy, everybody felt the loss. Jay sort of had to take some time and think about, how he would handle it and what he would do. And of course, we know Edwin was affected severely by the news. So each one of them sort of dealt with it in their own way and together. So at this time, we just want to say rest in peace to this Queen Gianna Hutton. Keep her family lifted in prayer even at this time. Jay sort of sat with Winter and had a talk with her about his decision, because she is his number 2, and he wanted to let her know before talking with the whole group that he's decided to leave and go and be with Joy and sort of console her in this time of great loss. And of course, the show must go on. So they cut to a scene where we saw Denise talking to Calfani, trying to figure out how he feels about her. And of course, he was, straight up 100 with her and told her, you're number 2. Getting that information didn't sit well with her, so she devised a plan in where she would tell Calfani, oh, she's so in love with Anthony all of a sudden, and now they have to break up. So, of course, it's funny to him because in his mind, hey, I didn't know we were in that type of relationship. Didn't know we were together. We're just dating. So she sort of wanted to play the game. It was kind of obvious she was being fake, saying, she loved him. And then she came out herself and said she did it because she wanted Calfani to chase her or fight for her, which, of course, didn't happen. He was like, yeah, okay, if that's what you need to do. So then there was a meetup in Tommy's Tavern with the whole group, again, to discuss, the tragedy, and wanted to know if anybody had anything they wanted to say. And of course, Edwin came forth and said that he was going to remove himself. We all know that Joy was his only choice, and being she was no longer there, he decided it was his time to make an exit. So we saw Edwin leave this week. So after the talk at the tavern, it was, sort of a play on, who's connecting with who. Of course, after Denise told the story she told, Calfani went and talked to Anthony about it. Of course, she hasn't talked to Anthony, so Anthony's like, really? She's in love with me? Okay, that's news to me. Sort of uncovering this game that she was playing. So she also went and sat with Winter. Told Winter the same story. She's talking to everybody but Anthony. So Anthony ended up meeting even with Winter afterwards, where Winter says she was going to check the temperature to see where he was. That alliance I talked about that they made earlier. Is he still in that vein? And of course he is now. And then when she finally talks to Anthony, he's sipping his wine like, okay, he could see that she was being disingenuous. He knew it wasn't real. Also along the lines of, keeping these connections, Rashid and Adriana are still, talking and, getting closer. He wants to know, where he is in her mind and heart. So later on, we have a scene where Uncle Tommy meets all of them again in the tavern, and he's telling them, it's down to the fine wire. If you got into these entanglements that you need to break, now is the time to do it. Anthony wasted no time. He met up with Denise right after and told her, he had no interest in her. You're not going to be together, we part. And he tried to tell her Calfani feels the same. She was like, let Calfani tell me himself. So, of course, Calfani did due diligence and told her himself. So this is where we saw Queen 510 exit. She made her exit. So now we're looking at this week 4 people who actually were eliminated from the show. So now, we're really getting down to the nitty gritty of things. We're looking at Joy, now gone. Also Jay, now gone. And then, of course, we had Edwin, who's gone. And then we have Denise, who's gone. So with all these sort of unexpected eliminations, it puts us down to a very few left on the player board at this point. So the dynamics of that is we have Adriana, who has the 2 choices, Calfani and Rashid. And then we only have these 2 number 2s here, Winter and Anthony. So as we move forward, it's going to be interesting how that plays out. Interesting to see how that plays out, as well as what we're looking at next week in the season finale, of course, is now, you have to bring these men home to meet the family. And we're going to see Calfani, of course, meet Adriana's pop. And then, she's got Rashid, who's saying to himself, you got me hanging out on a thread here. He may be sitting talking to the couch again. We don't know. Is Winter going to be left hanging and stood up at the end of the show? We don't know exactly how it's going to turn out. I would make predictions, but I'm not going to. But I have said before, I really think where it's going to end is with Calfani, not Calfani, Rashid and Adriana. And if Winter and Anthony do become a couple, I think it would really be just for the purposes of the show. I really don't see anything going forward there. So what we're looking for now, really, I think even more than the season finale, is the reunion, which is going to start on January 15th. So as always, thanks for watching. Get down in the comments. Tell me what you think.